First game officially for the West Coast Eagles was that of Liam Baker. They get beaten by 87 points, and the West Coast Eagles media department say, hey, you go out and speak to the media and tell us how bad we were.
One of the few that can hold his head up, I think.
He was very good. Hey, Bakes, appreciate your time.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me on.
So the Eagles media department interviewed you after the game. Now you're doing this interview and you're doing the TV media later this morning as well. Have you got your answers ready? Because they're going to come for you.
Oh, yeah, mate. They do all the answers up for us. You guys know that.
Declaration, mate. Mate, you know we love you, and I thought you were rock solid on Sunday, but you didn't have many mates around you. How disappointing is that to kick off the year, mate?
Oh, yeah, still in a bit of shock, really. I expected more. So did the players. So did our fans, really. So, yeah, disappointing. The way that we couldn't really swing momentum our way pretty much at all during the whole game is the most disappointing thing. But credit to Gold Coast. I mean, I played them round one last year in a very similar game, although the scoreboard wasn't quite that bad. But I remember learning a lot from their midfield craft, their stoppage work, contest work. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same this week. We're going to dive into that, and we'll be right this week and going forward.
Were you just dismayed sitting across half-back about how easy it was coming out of their midfield at centre bounces and stoppages? Like Rowell, Miller, Anderson were just really giving you guys not a lot of chance down back because they were just unpressured.
Yeah, I mean, that was a challenge for our mids and for us. Is how dominant they were. Firstly, Wicks was unbelievable in the ruck. He's a big man, and those mids you just mentioned, they're three pretty good mids in the comp. So it's not good enough from us, but that's all right. Like I said, we'll go to work on the way they do it and try and learn something from it. But it's a mindset thing as well. We need to butter up and be a lot better this week.
Yeah, very much so. And you've got a chance against the best in Brisbane, up there in Brisbane. It's going to be a tough ask, of course. We're going to get to that game and moving forward and some positives because it's not all doom and gloom. But we do have to ask you, because we've had a lot of texts from listeners this morning, Bakes, just in regards to how you, coming from a successful franchise or a club like Richmond, and the fact is you've played with a lot of experienced players, what role can you play in helping Harley Reid's on-game demeanour? Not his skill set, not anything like that, but the way that he seems to be targeted by opposition players and he seems to respond every time. It's got to get to a point where someone has to come in and grab him and pull him aside, whether it be during a game or in the lead-up. That seems to be a lot of the text we're getting this morning.
Yeah, I actually didn't see a lot of it during the game, but I couldn't actually tell his frustrations, whether they were there or not, while we're actually playing. But, yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe just getting around him a bit and, making him aware that that's going to happen when you're a talented player like he is. And it's his first game of his second year, so he's still learning how to play the game, how to receive attention like that, and he's still a young kid. So we'll just get to work on that. But yeah, overall, you need to be focused on your footy and getting that right, and then hopefully the footy does the talk, and then you don't actually have to worry about the opposition.
You saw it with Dusty, so there's probably not many as experienced as you to be able to talk to him. And I just think, mate, if he just gets rid of all that, just forget about what's coming and just concentrate on what he does really well, and let's get the footy, then he's going to be better. But you know what? A lot of attention goes to him, and I've been critical of him, but geez, he didn't have many mates in the middle either. A lot of messages we've got today and a lot of fans are really asking the question of Tim Kelly and where's he at. He said in the off-season he hasn't loved football for a while now. He played like a guy who doesn't love football on Sunday and really needs to respond more for his teammates than anyone else.
Yeah, when I heard that in the pre-season, it sort of surprised me a bit because what I've been seeing at training, in the competitive stuff and even our little match sims, it seemed like he was heavily invested. I mean, he was part of a midfield group that got beaten on the weekend, so I'm not going to judge him based off that game. But I think just like I said, a mindset shift and, some stoppage craft and all that kind of stuff that the mids will get to work at this weekend, and it can change a lot in a week. So him, Harley, Bridge, the boys that were in there, they'll get to work on that, and I'm looking forward to them bounce back pretty quick.
Very much so. Liam Baker from the Eagles has given us his time this morning. Hey, Bakes, when you were at Richmond, going up to the Gabba, the last 4 games you suffered losses. There was a narrow loss in an elimination final up there. But before that sort of little sequence of losses, Richmond had a damn fine record over a long period of time up at the Gabba. What does it take to win at the Gabba? What's different about footy at the Gabba?
Oh, it's a great question, really. I'm not really sure about why we had such a good record up there, but I know it's just going to be a contested game. So that's exactly what we're after. After the week we just had, we got absolutely smashed in that area. So we'll have a crack at this week during training, and hopefully our mindset's flipped a bit that we can go in there and go up against one of the toughest teams in the comp. And obviously last year they were the best team. So on a ground like the Gabba, I think if you can get the ball in your front half by winning contests and clearance and then lock it in there, you're going a long way of winning the game. But it's going to be a big challenge for us. But like I said, there's nothing better than playing the best team in the comp.
100%. Hey, did you, again, I'm sure you would have, Thursday night, did you watch Richmond? Did you get a buzz out of it? And who was your first message to after their amazing performance against Carlton?
I was a bit neutral in watching the game in the first half, but as soon as they started coming, I was far from neutral. I was up and about on the couch and trying to get the boys over the line, but they were amazing, so good on them really. But I messaged Shorty and Cats as I always do, and then all the other boys at the end of the game, but I was still up and about. It was good to see for them. Like pretty much everyone didn't give them a chance, so I'm sure they'll be buzzing around the club this week.
Always good to see you, mates, doing well. Hey, I just want to talk about a couple of positives, and one of them's going to seem weird, seeing as he got 6 kicked on him. But I didn't hate the work of Harry Edwards, and I just think that the ball that was coming in was, a lot of the time that he had no chance. I mean, Stephen Silvani wouldn't have stopped most of them coming in, but I just thought the body-on-body stuff in the contest under the high ball, I thought he held his own okay, Bakes, and I thought 6 was probably unlucky for him. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, like, us as players and people that watch the game a bit closer probably, know that those 6 are not all his 6. So at the end of the game, I actually didn't really realise that King had kicked that many. I thought he was all right as well. But when the ball's coming in like that,
it's hard.
It's tough to stop for anyone in the comp, like you say. But at times, like as a back 6, as a defence, we let each other down. So that's on us defenders as well. When it's coming in like that, we weren't quite connected. So I'll find out more about that today again, I guess. But he's in really good form, Harry. I reckon he had a great pre-season game, great pre-season. But a bit stiff when the ball's coming in, 80 odd times inside our 50.
Hey, quick ones. I know I know you're not a Dr. Bakes. I think you trained to be one, but you didn't. You concentrated on footy.
He's paused that degree.
Hey, Bakes. Liam Duggan rolled ankle. What's your expectation there? Jake Waterman calf, and your mate Jack Graham the fridge. He looked like he had a very nasty cork on the hip or hip flex or whatever they call it. Are you expecting those guys to be okay? And you're going to need all 3 of them.
Well, I know Fridge pretty well, and I don't think a knock will keep him down, so I'll put his hand up right now for this week. But the other 2 boys, I'm not actually sure about. Jake, I know it was just a bit of soreness going on into the game, and I think he was moving all right out there, so I'm guessing he'll be fine, but I'm not too sure. And with Duggo as well, I'm not too sure, but hopefully they can get around quick, and if they're fit enough to put their hand up, I'm sure they will, because they want to get over to Brisbane as much as we all do and, get some revenge back on someone.
Good on you, mate. Appreciate your time. Thanks for putting your head up. You've always been good with your time with us, and thanks to the Eagles for making you available today. Good on you, mate.
Thanks, boys. See you later on.
Yeah, we'll do. Liam Baker there from the West Coast Eagles, always honest and candid. I just want to take you up on Harry
Edwards.
Edwards.
Isn't it?
I know you've given Harry Edwards a pump up, and I didn't want to... He needs to punch the ball, mate. He tries to mark everything. He needs to actually spoil the ball. He tries to outmark the play.
And watching TB and Gov too much.
Punch it.
Kill it sometimes.
Punch it, kill it.
Yeah.
Take that option.
I was more talking about like his body on body as when they're next to each other. Apart from the bit where he actually shuffled over as if he had a ruck bag on his back, so he can make a better hang for it.
He did, and then he
shuffled over,
and then he hooked his arms around.
It was
to keep
like
him up
what they
there.
do at training. Apart from that, I just saw some good body on body stuff with a big man, and looks like Ben King has actually bulked up a bit too. But I thought there's good signs, mate.
Love Liam's response about Harley. I feel like he's going to demand some standards. Love our captains, but do they demand players be better? Bakes isn't afraid to walk the walk and was impressed with his game. Thank you, Beck. We'll take a break and come back.
You'll get that from him.
Wrap it up.